Alright, number 58 says solve the equation. Remember to check for extraneous solutions. So extraneous solutions are solutions that work for the manipulated equation, but not the initial. So anytime you start with a square root or an even root, that's kind of an issue, but if it's not an even root, you don't really need to worry about it. So first thing I want to do is to solve for x, I'm going to subtract the 6. So I'm left with the square root of 2x equals 4. To undo the square root, I'm going to square both sides, leaving me with 2x equals 16. And then to solve for x, I divide by 2, and I get x equals 8. Now if I plug that in, 2 times 8 is 16, the square root of 16 is 4, and 4 plus 6 is 10, so that is a good answer. Alright, number 59. I cannot solve for x. I cannot combine these two x's or deal with x's when one of them is underneath the square root. So I've got to undo that square root, and I've got to do that by squaring. So I'm going to square both sides. Now x plus 1 squared is x plus 1 times x plus 1, not x squared plus 1. It's x plus 1 times x plus 1, which is x squared plus 1x plus 1x plus 1. Which is x squared plus 2x plus 1, and I'm left with 3x plus 21. So anytime I've got a quadratic, linear, and constant term, I want to get everything on the same side as the quadratic. So I want to minus 3x and minus 21, so that I have this set equal to 0, so I could probably factor. So I know the factors of negative 20 that add up to negative 1, and those are negative 5 and positive 4. Set equal to 0, that means my answers are going to be positive 5 and negative 4, but I have to go back and check. And so the original expression, or the original equation, is x plus 1 equals the square root of 3x plus 21. So if I plug in a 5, I've got, let me do this separately. 5 plus 1 equals the square root of 3 times 5 plus 21. 3 times 5 is 15, and 15 plus 21 is 36, and the square root of 36 is 6. So that one works. But negative 4 plus 1 is a negative number, and negative 3, a negative number is never going to equal a square root, a positive square root. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12, so that's the square root of 9, and the square root of 9 does not equal negative 3. So negative 4 is out. And the final answer is just 5. Okay. Number 60 says the fifth root of x minus 3 plus 2. So I'm going to add the 3, and I'm left with the fifth root of x equals 5. And the way to undo a fifth root is to raise it to the 5th power. So x equals 5 to the 5th, which is 3,125. It's an odd root, so I don't have to worry about extraneous solutions. And then number 61, that is actually the same thing as the 4th root of x plus 4, so I'm going to write it like that, so it's easier for me to see what I'm dealing with. The first thing I'm going to do is subtract the 5 over, and I'm left with a negative 2. To get rid of a 4th root, I raise everything to the 4th power. Remember, when you raise a negative to an even power, it becomes positive. So this is x plus 4, and 2 to the 4th is 16. And then I subtract 4, and I'm left with x equals 12. And so if I plug in 12, I've got 12 plus 4, which is 16. The 4th root of 16 is 2. Ooh, that does not work. Interesting. So, making sure, yep, that is not going to work. So there's no solution. It's when you deal with even roots that you can end up being having a problem, for sure. Okay. So, long division. Long division, I'm going to start out with 5x plus 9, and I'll write this function in there. 10x to the 4th minus 32x cubed minus 60x squared plus 44x minus 24. And I'm trying to, in every case in long division, you're trying to multiply this by something that cancels out that first term, whatever that first term is. So what do I need to multiply 5x by to get 10x to the fourth? I need to get exactly that, not the negative of that, but exactly that. 5 times 2 will give me 10, and then I have 1x, I need 4, so I need 3 more, which is why I lined it up against this one. Also, a binomial does not go into a monomial, it will go into a binomial. Okay, so now I multiply this times both of those. 2x cubed times 10 is 10x, sorry, times 5 is 10x to the fourth. And 2x cubed times 9 is 18x cubed. Now, in long division, the next step is always going to be to subtract. Okay, so then I combine, and I say, let me get a different color. This negative 32x cubed minus 18x cubed is negative 50x cubed, and bring down the negative 60x squared. So I need to figure out what do I need to multiply 5x by to get negative 50x cubed. Well, 5 times negative 10 will give me negative 50, and I need 2 more x's. So it stands to reason that it would line up right along with the next one. So negative 10x squared times 5 is negative 50x cubed, and negative 10x squared times 9 is negative 90x squared. But the next step is to subtract. Now when you subtract, that basically just makes both of those plus signs. Yeah. So I'm left with nothing here. And then on this one, I now have a 30x squared, bring down the 44x. Okay, so what do I need to multiply 5x by to get 30x squared? I need a 6 and another x. So 6x times 5x is 30x squared, and 6x times 9 is 54x that I need to subtract. So both of those become minus. And I'm left with 44 minus 54, which is negative 10x, bring down the negative 24. So what do I need to multiply that by, or 5x by, to get negative 10x? I just need a negative 2. Negative 2 times 5x is negative 10x, and negative 2 times 9 is negative 18. Aren't you going to solve that? There you go. Thanks. And so the last step is to subtract. So when you subtract, those become plus signs. And I get negative 24 plus 18, which is a negative 6. Yeah. So my final answer is 2x cubed minus 10x squared plus 6x minus 2 minus 6 divided by 5x plus 9. Or plus a negative 6 divided by. Oh, I wasn't even writing over there. I really went sideways on that. Okay, so, sorry about that. Just turn my video sideways too. Plus and minus? Okay. Do you want to go back to your, okay, you can just hang in here. Alright, so number 63 and 64 are divide using synthetic division. So, in synthetic division, we always do the opposite of whatever is inside there. So 2, and then I just put the coefficients. 4, 3, 2, 1, none. So I just look at the powers. Oh, that's mine. Hey, the review, your review is slightly, like, these reviews have stuff added to it, but no, you don't have a review, do you? Do you have anything you can work on? Alright. So I put the coefficients, but I need to make sure I'm not missing any powers. So 4, 3, 2, 1, none. So 1, negative 3, 8, negative 21, and 11. And I bring down the 1. 1 times 2 is 2. That's a negative 1. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Add it, I get 6. 2 times 6 is 12. That's a negative 9. 2 times right? Yeah. 2 times negative 9 is negative 18, and I get a negative 7. And if you ever want to like make sure, because when you get a remainder, you don't necessarily know whether or not you're correct. You could just type it in. I'm going to say 2 store. You can't even see what I'm doing. Okay. So 2 and then store, this button right here, store x. So remember, if I just type in this function now, and I stored x as 2, then whatever I get, I should get negative 7. If I don't, then I did something wrong. So x to the 4th minus 3x cubed plus 8x squared minus 21x plus 11, and this is called the remainder theorem. Okay, and the remainder theorem says that when I plug in 2, I should get the remainder. And I got negative 7, which means I'm correct. Okay, I started with the power of 4. I divided out a power of 1, so this is 1b cubed, or just b cubed, minus 1b squared, or minus b squared, plus 6b minus 9, minus 7 divided by b minus 2. And that is my answer. Okay, on this one I've got b plus 2, so I'm going to put a negative 2 in here. I'm very original with my 2's. So I've got 1, 6, negative 2, negative 15, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, none. Not missing terms 14 and 8. Bring down the 1. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. 6 plus a negative 2 is 4. That's a negative 8, a negative 10, 20. Negative 15 plus 20 is 5. That's a negative 10. That's a 4, which we're adding. And then negative 2 times 4 is negative 8 with a remainder 0. Which means b plus 2 is a factor of that. So I've got b to the 4th. I started with the power of 5. I divided out 1. Plus 4b cubed minus 10b squared plus 5b plus 4. And there we go. And that is page 8.